Where do ideas come from? Most of our ideas on sex come from what we have seen. With millions of sexual pages on the internet, videos, and pictures, there is an endless river of sensuality to avoid. Not that we can completely. If you are my age, you watch the awesome heavy metal videos on Headbangers Ball late at night to see the foxy chicks highlighted in the latest music videos. And every now and then we might have found a VHS tape with porn on it. Or it could have been a time you went over to a friend's house and they had a porn magazine hidden that you were given to look at. But most of us were impacted pretty hardcore by what we saw. These were images that stuck in the brain, and the feelings we felt when looking at them were amazing. We wanted to see it again and again. But as life in the 80s had it, we couldn't. There just wasn't the access that we have today. What do we get from pornography today which would tell us how sex should be done? That's a scary question. If we were to sit and watch what is shown on nameyoursite.com, what would we take away from it educationally? Well, you might think bigger is better, and really, really big is even better. The more fluid, the funner. More people, more lovin'. Saying naughty words to one another makes great sex. Putting your hands over a girl's neck really gets her going. Try putting things in every place you can. Saying no means yes. Getting treated like a dog is the best. Now, to be fair, there is a brand of new wave porn that is trying to get their act together a bit by filming people having what would be deemed fairly normal looking sex. But there is far too much of the other stuff that would educate us on how to have the, quote, really good sex. The problem is obvious. We just don't have sex like what we see on these videos, and if we did, we wouldn't be married long. So much of pornography, not all, contains situations that break the mold of what would be deemed safe or healthy. Some examples are having sex with people you don't know in public, a parent having sex with a son or daughter's friend, mothers having sex with their young kids, having unprotected sex with multiple people at a party at college, cheating with your neighbor. These are context-related examples. I can't imagine a world where these would be considered good or right. There are numerous other examples of how sex is portrayed in some pornography that has been written in other books. Read Getting Off by Robert Jensen for an extreme example. So here is an idea in our culture. Maybe the problem is monogamy. Maybe that is what is holding us back from the enjoyment of sex. So in comes polyandry, polygyny, and polyamorous relationships as well as swingers. The pursuit of good sex means so much to people that they will go to any length to find it. It amazes me to research the shows on Playboy over the years that have real-life stories of swingers. The couples take a retreat to a beautiful place with other swinger couples in a huge mansion. During the week, they get to share each other's partners with one another. How interesting that you get to watch and see how they feel about it as they talk into a camera sharing their experience. But what is the point of having another partner? Is one enough? The answer is no. One is not enough, not when sexual pleasure is the goal. Sexual pleasure can come with any person or with no person, like the bonobo. So if sexual pleasure is the goal, then there are no bounds to what you will do or experience to gain it. Yet you won't. You can't, because sexual pleasure will go away with your body's ability to enjoy it. And one day it won't. What will you do at that time as you age and fall apart? You were not made to worship sexual pleasure, and that's why getting your education from porn won't work in the long run. It seems that aging and death always bring us a perspective on what is most important in life. But what if the mechanical science community can help us by not aging? That is why we take the supplements or the early morning workouts, right? We desire to postpone the inevitable. If we could live forever on this earth, then maybe the pursuit of sexual pleasure would be beneficial. But that is not real life. So we need to base our sexual lives on the real world, which is a temporary one for us living things.